And, people come to me like, I want to get on podcasts. I'm like, okay, good. What do you want to get on podcast? I got to get on podcasts, because people want to get on podcasts. And I was just reading an article, Jen, I think it was maybe about 2 weeks ago, where I think by 2028, it's going to be like a $6 billion industry. Something like that, something like really crazy amount. Like, wow, that is amazing. So, if you haven't jumped on the podcast wagon, now is probably the best time to do it. Yeah. You guys can also check out too. So we have different services. We have the podcast guesting, the podcast, video editing and production area. Yep. And we also do too, as far as introductory place, let's say, for example, I want to do it my own. I'm not really that big enough yet, So we actually offer too is a masterclass that actually teaches people, one, how to be a guest speaker, but also two, how to be a podcaster and how to grow your podcast yourself. It's our tools, but to help you, because we want to make sure everyone makes it and make sure everyone does well, Mm-hmm. And we also too have a book too, you can definitely check out. And our masterclass is free of charge, the masterclass and the book is free. And we also do courses too that teaches them. If you want more information about how the details of how it works, you could definitely check out our website, which is, we have a podcasters one, which is how to build your podcast. And the other one's how to be a pro guest speaker. So that is definitely something you guys should check out. If, let's say I want to just do it myself. I'm not really ready for your services, but this is the best time to do it. So,
we actually are working. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
I was going to say you're actually working with a client right now who came to me and wanted to get on podcasts right away. He had started a podcast. He just didn't have the viewership yet for us to be able to place him on podcasts. His message is outstanding. He's been a huge business owner for years, built his own business, but he didn't want to use the business at all to get on podcasts. He wanted just strictly to PR his podcast. So Josh started him off on courses, and he's coming up through those lines, building his audience. He's going to be ready for us soon. And I think it's going to be an amazing journey for him because he's got such a really cool message to talk about. So I'm not going to out any of that, because when he becomes a client and he starts podcasting and he starts going on other people's podcasts to grow his podcast, then we'll make a big thing over that. But, that's another thing. We have a lot of clients who are actually podcasters.
Right.
So they have their own podcast and they want to get more notoriety for their podcast in addition to whatever their business is. So it's like a dual purpose. Like they get PR for their podcast and PR for their business. So just because you're a podcaster doesn't mean you can't go on podcasts.
Absolutely.
That's also another really cool thing that we do. So.
Yeah, podcasting is definitely the way to go. If you guys are not on podcast, this is definitely the best time to do it,
Yeah. So
anyways, thank you, Jen, for joining us. And, we'll be seeing each other. We'll be working together, as you know. So we definitely will be in touch. But, I want to thank everyone for listening. And of course, as I mentioned before, check out our masterclass, our book, and our courses. And then, of course, if you want to have time to chat with Jen, you can definitely do that and book a call with us. And we'll see you guys on the other end. All right. Thank you, everyone.